So, we've all got these big ambitions, but how often does it feel like we're just spinning our wheels? Today, we're diving into two really powerful and actually pretty different ways to tackle those ambitions. Think of it as a clash of styles, the super structured map versus the more intuitive compass.
And it all really kicks off with this quote. It's so simple, but it hits hard. You know that feeling when you're busy, you're working, you're doing things, but if you don't have a real direction, are you actually going anywhere? This perfectly captures that frustrating feeling of being stuck, even when it feels like the engine is running. This is the big question, isn't it? It is so easy to mistake motion for actual progress. Just picture this. You leave the house, you hop on a totally random bus, you get off somewhere you've never been, you wolf down an ice cream without even tasting it, and then you walk into a hardware store and ask for a cranked gouge just to have something to do. It sounds ridiculous, right? But it's such a perfect, vivid picture of a day that's completely empty of any real purpose. And look, this isn't just some weird, fuzzy feeling. Drifting has real-world consequences. When we're just aimless, we get distracted, we have no idea where to put our energy, we end up missing out on huge opportunities because, well, we haven't even figured out what our ambitions are. And over time, that just completely drains our confidence and leaves us feeling, well, pretty dissatisfied. How do we fight this feeling of just drifting? The most common answer, the one we all know, is to create a plan, a map. And to build a really good map, we first have to get the language of goal setting down. First up, you've got your aims. Think of these as the 30,000-foot view. They're the big, broad, long-term ideas. It's the general direction you want to head in, like saying, I want to be a well-rounded musician. It's that grand vision, the why, that's going to fuel the whole journey. From that big, kind of fuzzy aim, we zoom in a bit to our goals. A goal takes that big idea and it sharpens it. It turns it into a clear, measurable target. All of a sudden, being a musician isn't just a dream, it's an actual destination on our map. Learn piano by the end of the year. And then, finally, we get down to the nitty-gritty, the objectives. If the goal is the destination, think of these as the turn-by-turn directions. They're the specific, actionable things you do every week to get there. Take piano lessons twice a week. This is where the rubber really meets the road. And the most famous tool for building these objectives is the SMART framework. It's basically a power checklist for your goals. Is your objective specific enough? Is it measurable so you know for sure when you've done it? Is it actually achievable? Is it relevant to that bigger goal? And crucially, is it time-bound? Does it have a deadline? This is designed to give you a perfectly clear, actionable plan. But here's the twist. What if that perfectly drawn map, the one we're all taught to trust to guide us, what if it can sometimes lead us completely astray? What if there's a dark side to this super structured, time-bound approach? Just look at this comparison. On one side, you have the promise of SMART goals, right? Clarity and focus. But that can easily become tunnel vision where you ignore everything else. Motivation is great, but that can quickly turn into stress and anxiety as that deadline gets closer. And that clear endpoint, if you don't hit it, it can be absolutely crushing. And this is the real danger, the biggest worry here. When you rely too much on this rigid map, you can get so focused on the destination that you completely miss all the beautiful, unexpected detours and valuable experiences along the way. Which brings us to a totally different way of looking at things. Path number 2. If the first way is a map with a fixed destination, this next one it's more like a compass. It doesn't give you a destination, but it helps you navigate the journey in a way that feels true to you. The map is all about the outcome, which often creates a feeling of pressure. It's fantastic for defined projects, things with a clear finish line. But the compass? It's all about the process. It fosters a sense of curiosity, and it's so much better for things like personal growth, where the journey itself is the reward. So how do you actually use this compass? Well, there are a couple of cool ways. The first is being values-driven. You just align your actions with what truly matters to you. The second is being theme-based. You pick a broad theme for a period of time, say curiosity, and you just explore stuff related to it without any specific goal in mind. Let's really bring this theme idea to life with an example. Imagine you're hiking. With a map-based SMART goal, you might be racing to get to the summit in under 2 hours. But with a compass approach, you're not focused on a finish line. You're just there. You're noticing the waterfall. You're actually hearing the birds. You're smelling the flowers. The journey is the whole point. And that right there, that's the magic of the compass approach. These shifts in perception are absolutely priceless. This is how simple, everyday experiences can turn into genuine, life-altering transformations.
So we've got the structured map and the intuitive compass, the clear plan versus the curious exploration. So the big question is, which one do you choose? Well, here's the thing. It might not be an either-or decision at all.
Look, the real key here is that it's not about choosing one over the other. It's about knowing which tool to pull out of the toolbox for the right job. You use the SMART goal map when you have a specific project with a hard deadline. And you use the experiential compass for personal growth, for creativity, for your overall well-being. So how can you actually start doing this tomorrow? Finding that balance is going to be a personal thing, but here are some brilliant places to start. Protect your time. Kill those notifications. Prioritize what is truly important, not just what feels urgent. Focus on the quality of your experiences, not just checking off a bunch of tasks. And maybe most important of all, stay adaptable. But, at the end of the day, all of this, choosing the right path at the right time, finding that balance, it all comes back to one thing: self-awareness. Really understanding yourself, your situation, and what you truly need is the absolute first step to making any of this work. As you go forward, just ask yourself this: is your life a checklist that you're just trying to complete? Or is it an exploration that's meant to be experienced? The answer might just change everything.
This presentation on 2 approaches to goal setting was created with Google's Notebook LM and then edited by me for succinctness and clarity. The material you've just seen is taken from my new ebook titled Summit Self: Trekking Towards Personal Growth. If you'd like to explore more, I'll be serializing the book in the weeks and months ahead in my Substack newsletter titled Walk, Hike, Learn, where I share regular reflections on the connections between walking, hiking, and self-improvement. Many of the articles are free to read, and if you'd like to support my future writing, you can make a pledge or upgrade to a paid subscription at any time. You'll find a link in the description below. Best wishes, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.